going to do a slower detailed tutorial of these face creams. I've already done my eyes, but I'm going to show you how I apply these colors to my skin. In the wintertime, if your skin is a little bit more dry, you can use this as a balm. And I'm going to put a little bit under my eyes, anywhere where you might have a little bit of dryness, and put this down before I apply my makeup. I'm going to go into my contour first, which is this one right here. This one is a bronzer. This one is also a contour, but I use it to fill my brows, so that's why it's in here. So I'm going to go and just press my brush and just kind of stamp it. Okay, these are a solid cream, and the contour is going to be more of a dense formula. So just stamp it a little bit on your brush, and then do the same on your skin. You can go back out a little more if you would like, but a little goes a long way. Same thing here. I'm going to take it along my forehead. And we'll go back and blend as well. But along each side of the forehead and under both cheeks. You can also contour your nose kind of like this and just stamp on either side. This detail brush is really good for that. You can also take it along your lower, the bottom of your jaw, and take it to about right here on each side. Now you can do the same thing with your fingertips if you would rather. Sometimes when you're a beginner, it's easier to start that way, or you can apply with your brushes. There's really no specific rules. I would just say the main rule is to use small amounts at first, and you can build as necessary because a little goes a long way with creams. So this is my main foundation color. It's called a highlight. Seint calls them highlights, and this is going to be the color that's going to give me my coverage. It's going to be most like my skin tone, and I'm going to take it around that contour, around my nose, because I'm trying to keep as much as possible to one layer of product, just so there's not tons of product in my skin. And I'm not going into my under eyes yet. Okay, we're going to use a different color for that. I'm going to go back and blend, but I'm just putting a little bit on the skin for now. Go back to that detail brush, and I'm going to go into, I have 3 highlight shades here. One of them is for extra brightening. I'll probably do a little bit of both, and I'm going to brighten kind of around my eyes and the center of my face. One color is sufficient. It's usually just a color that's a shade or two lighter than your main highlight color, but if you want an extra pop of brightness, you can definitely get something lighter. It's just up to you. And just a little bit on the center of my nose here, just to kind of draw light to the center of my face. Now we're going to go back and blend that out. So I'm going to take it back to my blush and bronzer brush, and when you blend, you really just want to kind of pat and stamp. You don't want to do a lot of tugging and pulling, especially around the eyes. So we're just going to tap, press, stamp, you name it. Just be careful. So I'm usually working with those lightest colors first, and then work my way around to blend the darker ones. And I'm going to go back in and add some bronzer and blush in just a second, but I'm just going to go ahead and blend some of this out first, and then we'll add some more. You can definitely do all the colors at once if you would like, especially if you're just trying to move quickly. And then you can always go back and kind of touch things up, you know, when you're done. But it's a very simple process, and the creams are very forgivable. So however you're most comfortable doing it is going to work. All right, so I'm going to blend this up a little bit, blend that contour. You don't really want to drag it down. All right, now let's go in and add some bronzer. Bronzer is this one in the middle. I'm going to pinch that big side of my blush and bronzer brush and stamp it into that color, and then I'm going to go on the top of my cheeks and then up into my forehead a little bit, just kind of warming up the skin. Even if you don't have a dark tan, just a little bit of bronzer to warm up the skin can really bring some life to your face, especially in the wintertime when everything seems so, you know, drab. Just makes me feel more alive, I guess. So you can just add a little bit of that. This is a pretty universal bronzer color, but there is a couple of shades lighter that you can always try if you're more fair. You can even take some across your nose, wherever you would like a little bit of that extra warmth. Let's add some blush. I'm going to go into this color right here. This is Frenchie. This is definitely one of my top 3 favorite blushes, but I gravitate to it all the time. Just a little bit goes along with a little bit goes a long way with this as well. So I'm just going to tap that. See, that's quite a bit right there, and I didn't get very much out of the 10. So I'm going to kind of try to blend it out over here, and then bring it over here a little bit. And if you get a little bit too much, you can just keep blending, and it will all blend out if it's too bold. Last, I'm going to do a little bit of lip color, and then also some Illuminator. I'm going to line my lips with my contour. Okay, I'm going to go in with Desert Sunset as my lip color. You can use a brush, but I use a finger most of the time for my lip color. Going down into my second layer, I'm going to get my Illuminator, which is this color right here, Rose Gold. Get my blush and bronzer brush. This is a sheer, shimmery cream that has a little bit of a hint of a rose gold shade, but this is what it's going to be like a typical highlighter would be, and it's just going to give a little extra glow. You can see right there on the cheeks. So I like to put it there, and then this side. And when you turn in the light or the sunlight hits you, you're really going to see that, hit the skin. And a little bit on my nose and my lips. You can also put a little tiny bit right underneath your arch of your brow. So that's it for a simple, pretty light look. This is typically my everyday type of look. And then we're going to add a little bit of setting spray, because you want to keep your makeup lasting. With creams, you want to use a setting spray. You can use it before your makeup and after, or just after. You can play and see what works best for you. I'm about out of my Seint one, so I've got 2 here. This is the Seint's setting spray, and then this is Urban Decay All Nighter. Whatever favorite setting spray you have will work. And don't be afraid to spray a bunch of it. It will dry. So let it dry, and then you can add a setting powder if you prefer to have more of a matte finish. Just completely up to you. That is optional, but I would definitely say use a setting spray. If you do want to give this makeup a try, I definitely recommend getting a color match, just because these are going to look different online. They're going to look different than they do on the skin. You can see this is my main color that I have on my skin, and you probably wouldn't guess that. So it's best to get a color match, which I can help you do. I can help build a palette for you. This is a larger one, so I can do a smaller, basic size, whatever you would like. I can help build for you based on your preferences.